Two people, same age, same job, same $65,000 salary. Fast forward 15 years. One of them has $680,000. The other has $62,000. That's a $618,000 gap from the exact same starting line. How? It wasn't luck. It wasn't inheritance. It wasn't some genius stock pick. It was 3 decisions. 3 almost boring, completely unsexy decisions they both made at 25. And the only difference is which direction they made them. Let me rewind and show you what happened. Meet Tyler, 25 years old, $65,000 a year. He does what almost everyone does because it's what almost everyone is taught. Paycheck comes in, bills go out. He enjoys his money, and he should. He works hard for it. At the end of the month, if anything's left, he'll save it. You already know how this ends. There is never anything left. Tyler isn't irresponsible. He's not stupid. He's not bad with money. He's just following the default script, and nobody ever handed him a different one. The problem isn't Tyler. The problem is the script. Now meet Maria. Same age, same salary, same bills. But before Maria even sees her paycheck, 15% is already gone. $800 a month, swept into a total market index fund. Automatic. She set it up once, years ago, and hasn't touched it since. She doesn't budget around investing. Investing happens first, and then she lives on the rest. That one structural difference, pay your future self before you pay anyone else? Let's run the math. $800 a month, 8% average annual return, which is roughly what the S&P 500 has delivered long-term. 15 years later, Maria's sitting on roughly $278,000. Tyler, meanwhile, has been investing when he remembers. Maybe $2,000 a year, maybe $3,000. After 15 years, he's got about $48,000. Same salary, same 15 years, $230,000 gap from one decision he didn't even know he was making. But here's the part that actually shook me when I first saw it. That gap doesn't grow in a straight line. It explodes. Between year 10 and year 15, Maria's portfolio starts earning more each year from compound growth than from her own contributions. Her money is clocking in for a full-time shift. Tyler's money is still sitting on the couch, waiting for him to remember it exists. Now, Tyler had a reason for not automating. It's the same reason millions of people have. 6 words. I'll start when I make more. That sentence, I'll start when I make more, has destroyed more wealth than every stock market crash combined. Because here's what actually happens when Tyler makes more. He upgrades his apartment. $1,600 a month. Granite countertops. He leases a new sedan. $460 a month. The payment feels manageable, so why not? This is what everyone does. This is what normal looks like. Nobody stops you. Nobody warns you that normal is financial suicide in slow motion. Maria made a different call. She set a hard rule. Housing and transportation combined, no more than 35% of her take-home pay. Her apartment is $1,100. Her car is a used Honda she bought outright for $12,000. Total monthly obligation, $1,100. Tyler's obligation, over $2,000. Same income, $800 a month difference. Let's price Tyler's car the way the market would. $460 a month for 6 years is $33,000 out of pocket. If he'd bought that $12,000 Honda instead and invested the $340 monthly difference at 8%, he'd have roughly $31,000 in his brokerage account after those same 6 years. He didn't lease a car. He traded $31,000 future dollars for heated seats. The housing math is even worse. That extra $500 a month Tyler spends on the nicer apartment, invested over 15 years at 8%, compounds to roughly $174,000. Tyler's granite countertops cost him $174,000. He never saw the price tag because it wasn't printed anywhere. So let's pause and add this up. The automation gap, $230,000. The car gap, $31,000. The housing gap, $174,000. We're at $435,000 of separation, and we haven't even gotten to the third thing Maria did. But first, I need to address what you're probably thinking right now. Maria must be miserable, right? Eating ramen in a dark apartment, never going out, counting pennies, staring at her brokerage account like it's a substitute for having a life. That's the stereotype. That's the fear that keeps people from ever starting. And it is completely wrong. Maria actually spends more than Tyler on the things she genuinely loves. International trips, concert tickets, amazing restaurants. She just cut the spending she didn't care about. The slightly shinier car, the apartment with features she only wanted because other people have them, the status purchases that feel good for a week and then become background noise. Tyler spends on maintenance. Maria spends on memories. That's the difference. Now, the third move, and this is the one that multiplies everything else. Maria takes $1,500 and buys a skill, digital marketing. One course, a few weekends. Within 2 years, her salary jumps from $65,000 to $78,000. That extra $13,000 a year, invested at her same 15% rate, compounds into roughly $156,000 over the remaining years. $1,500 became $156,000. That's a 100-to-1 return. Name a stock that does that. Tyler got raises too. Almost everyone does over 15 years. But every raise became a lifestyle upgrade. Nicer apartment, newer car, more subscriptions. His income climbed, his savings stayed at exactly zero. That's lifestyle inflation. And it's the silent killer of every financial plan that was supposed to start when I make more. Tyler didn't have an income problem. He had a what happens when more income shows up problem. So here's the final scorecard at 40. Maria, roughly $680,000. And here's the number that should keep you up tonight. About $390,000 of that is pure compound growth. Money she never worked for. Money that showed up while she was sleeping, while she was on vacation, while she was living her life. Tyler at 40? $62,000. Most of it just his own cash sitting in a savings account earning less than 0.5%. $618,000 apart. Same starting line. So what did Maria actually buy with that $680,000? It's not a yacht, it's not a mansion, it's the word no. No to a toxic boss, no to mandatory overtime, no to the panic of a surprise medical bill. She can take 6 months off and not go broke. She can start a business and survive its first 2 unprofitable years. She can be present for her kids instead of working 60-hour weeks to stay afloat. That's not rich. That's free. And the gap between where Tyler is and where Maria is 3 decisions. And look, if you're 35 right now and you haven't done any of this, I'm not here to make you feel bad. Here's the honest math. Start today. Same system, $800 a month at 8%. By 50, you've got roughly $278,000. It's not $680, but it's $216,000 more than the $62 you'll have if you do nothing. The best time to start was 10 years ago. The second best time is right now. That's not a cliche. That's math. So here are the 3 things to do tomorrow morning. 1, open your banking app and set up an automatic transfer that fires on payday, even $50. 2, add up your rent and car payment. If it's over 35% of your take-home, write down 1 change you can make in the next 6 months. 3, pick 1 skill, 1 course, 1 certification, something that makes you worth more 90 days from now. That's the system. Automate, cap the big stuff, invest the difference in things that compound. If this hit home, hit subscribe. We're building a community of people who actually want to get this right. Not someday, but starting now. Drop a comment. What's one thing you're going to downgrade or automate this week? I read every single one. See you in the next one.